Hello, I'm out on another walk. I'm in the West Sussex countryside and I'm walking with Martin Snow. Hello, Martin.
Hi there, Richard.
We're on another walk. This time we're looking for something even older than the canal that we did recently. We're looking for, well, you tell us.
We're looking for the site of the Roman station on Stane Street that was here.
So the path, let's start walking then,
Right.
as it's supposed to be a walk. This is really, what we're walking on is Stane Street.
No,
The Roman road, Stane Street. I should just point that out.
Well, we're just about crossing it, with the site of it. We're actually walking on the former track of the Midhurst Railway that ran from Pulborough along the River Rother.
So here we go. We're confusing you already. So we're on a point where we're actually walking on the old railway, as you've just explained, but it also crossed Stane Street, the Roman straight road, which was quite a famous road from Chichester to London. And although it's sort of happy chance really that we're on two ancient sites, although the railway's hardly ancient, that we've got this wonderful straight sort of route to be walking on. But we're trying to go back to, when are we talking, 45, 46, or anything between then and 450 AD, aren't we?
Stane Street, I believe, was fairly early on construction to link Chichester to London, because there was a port at Fishbourne close to Chichester.
And that would have given access to France and Europe for the Romans.
That's right.
At
yes.
Fishbourne.
Yeah.
And then Chichester, because it's a Chester, isn't it? Chichester. It's a Roman town originally.
Is it Novia Magna? I can't remember.
Yes, there you go. It has its own Roman name, of course. And then Stane Street was one of their principal routes up to London. A Roman station. Now, what is a Roman station? Because obviously it's not a train station, it's not a police station, it's not a boat station or anything like that. What is a Roman station?
Well, it was a moderately fortified area with in this case, an embankment around it, that was for resting after a day's march.
And am I right in thinking that the Romans had these stations? I mean, they're effectively the sort of travel lodge of the of the Roman times.
That's right.
A place to rest, a place to sort of have some recreation in between marches when they're en route somewhere.
That's right. They were at regular intervals. The next one, and of course I've forgotten where it is north of Billingshurst.
Oh right, on the way to I know where you mean, but I can't remember it.
It's interesting. It's
near Five Oaks. On the way to Five Oaks, before you get to the roundabout that crosses the...
That's it, yeah. And interestingly enough, that was close to the river crossing of the Arun there, and this is only a short distance from the Arun crossing here. So
water would have been useful, of course, for a station to supply the troops, I suppose.
That's right, yes.
Yes. And the 15 mile apart is because that was considered roughly the figure that you would march in a day, the area you could cover. Is that correct?
Carrying carrying all their equipment.
Yes.
They didn't have trucks to to carry them in. So they would march. There'd be wagons with supplies, and so unless they were doing a forced march, that was considered a reasonable distance.
Now, we're trying to find this Roman station. Of course, a lot of time has passed since then, nearly 2,000 years, or maybe a bit less. Approaching that. They would have, as you say, it's really mounds, earthworks, that is all that's left these days.
Yes, and where it's cultivated fields, often they've been ploughed, so they're almost non-existent.
Right.
They are still observable on
satellite imagery.
On satellite, yeah.
Yeah. but not so much. So we've actually probably passed it now, in all honesty, because there's very little to see. The railway cut through it. Obviously, it's two different time zones, so the railway has since cut through it.
Exactly.
Let's go up here. We can't because of the mud. I was just thinking there's a couple of logs to sit on. See if we can just get round here. We come into a slightly open area. This might be private property, but there doesn't seem to be anybody here, so we can come and have a little sit down for a moment. There we go. Not much of a walk then, and not much. A sort of failed sighting.
Yes, unfortunately.
On this,
I guess even less to see than the tunnel.
And that's the problem sometimes when you go looking for ancient monuments. They're either overgrown or they've been flattened out by farmers, and I guess that happens a lot.
There is a lot that I have gone. I was looking at your the one on the South Downs Way you did a few days ago, of the pillbox.
Yes.
Just to the west of that, there's the remains now of a feature called a cross-ridge dike that would have been several feet high. Well, that's been completely ploughed out by the fields.
By farmers.
By the farmers.
And do you think farmers know that they're doing it? They just want to get on and cultivate a crop, or
that's right. I mean, unless they're keen on
archaeology,
etc. What does it matter? It's in the way. They've got a living to make. I mean, it's as an archaeologist, it's disappointing. But like with so many other things, I suppose it's progress, isn't it?
It is. It's progress. I'm talking of progress and ploughing things in. I mean, we're going to be visiting a church in one of the up-and-coming videos. Again, not far from here. And an interesting aspect of that is the church, when it was built by the Saxons, would have plundered the remains of the Roman station here. So It's sort of cyclical, really, isn't it?
That's right, yes.
They nicked tiles and brick to build, and that kind of went on quite a bit, didn't it, throughout the years? And you've got the dissolution of the monasteries, and the monasteries are in bits, but if you look at the town or the village around it,
they got some fine stonework.
Beautiful timber frame buildings which have these lintels at the bottom that are so big you think, where did that come from? It's remarkable.
And we probably don't do that much now. They just obliterate everything.
Yes.
And the most that they do when they demolish these days is grind it up to make the concrete.
Yes, and that's a shame, because at least in the church with the tiles, the Roman tiles, you can spot where they came from, and they weren't carted terribly far.
No, from the Roman station that we couldn't find.
So there you go. So sadly, this walk, half of it's been a sit down, has been another sort of failed attempt to find it. Again, we've come at the wrong time of the year, I think, because the abundance of plants, trees, foliage, bushes, and all that vegetation has sort of defeated the amateur sleuth today. But
unfortunately, there's always another day.
There's always another day, and it's important to mark these places because they are historic and part of the British heritage. So, if you enjoyed the video, we might as well start making our way back to the car.
Yeah, which way do we go?
Left here, I think.
Right.
Back on the railway. Maybe we'll catch a ghost train and get back to the car.
That would save us a bit of a walk, wouldn't it?
One of these days I shall do a railway walk and try and find some anomalies on the railway which give us some lovely and interesting points of interest. First, I've got to get through a rather hefty puddle. I thank Martin Snow for his wonderful contribution again. And don't forget to subscribe, press the bell notification, you'll be notified every time I upload. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, or if you have any other place that you think it would be interesting for me to go and investigate and do one of my walks, then write that down in the comments. So, what time is the 5:34 to Midhurst?
It's a long wait, I'm afraid.
Yes. Well, it's at 5:34, isn't it? Back in time. Until the next time, bye-bye.